Every product team has a Jeff. Jeff's been here forever. Jeff remembers why that button was added. Jeff gets nervous when you suggest removing it. If you ask him why it still exists, Jeff will tell you. It's always been there. Users expect it. Removing it feels risky. Those are not reasons, they're rituals. Welcome to Design Unhinged. I'm Pat, and one of the most important design questions I've learned to ask is painfully simple. Do we still need this? Because a surprising amount of design work isn't about creating new things. It's about figuring out which old things no longer deserve to survive. So, not every feature deserves to live forever. Some parts of an interface exist because they solve real, ongoing problems. Others exist because nobody has challenged them for years. I once worked on a legacy product, the kind that has been around for literal decades. Every new feature was layered on top of the previous ones. Not because it was the best solution, but because it was safer than asking uncomfortable questions. Every decision came with the same justification. It has to work like this. This is how our users expect it. If we change it, everything will break. The reality behind those statements was, this is familiar, and familiarity feels like safety. Over time, the product didn't become unusable. It became heavier, harder to learn, harder to explain, harder to change. This is where teams confuse comfort with value. A familiar feature feels safe. Removing it feels dangerous. But safety and usefulness are not the same thing. Not all repetition is bad. Some patterns exist for a reason. Accessibility requirements, safety standards, established usability heuristics. You don't debate whether a cancel button should exist. You don't experiment with removing alt texts. Those are guardrails. Rituals are different. A ritual is something that once solved a problem and now survives on habit alone. It's defended emotionally, not with evidence. The easiest way to tell the difference isn't by looking at the UI, it's by discussing the intent behind it. When a feature exists to support real user behavior, it holds up under questioning. When it exists out of inertia, the reasoning collapses quickly. That's the moment you realize you are not protecting usability, you're just protecting comfort. Breaking rituals is not about dramatic redesigns. It's about patience and rigor. On that legacy product, nothing changed overnight. It took almost a year of careful work, not pushing, not deleting, just asking better questions. Instead of arguing that something was bad, we asked, why does this exist? What problem is it still solving? Who actually uses it? What happens if it's not there? Slowly, the answers got thinner. The certainty faded, and space opened up for change, and the leadership saw it as well. This is how you remove rituals, not by force, but by understanding and communicating. As designers, our job is not to preserve interfaces like a museum. It is to curate them so that they continue to make sense, even as the world around them changes. Rituals make interfaces feel safe, but good design choices make them usable. Design maturity is not about adding more, it's about knowing what to remove and when, and how to communicate with the Jeff of your team. Every artifact in your product tells a story. The real question is whether that story still needs to be told. If this episode made you look at your product a little differently, subscribe. And tell me in the comments which part of your UI you've always been afraid to question, or if you're a Jeff. There's also a link to my Substack in the description. And as always, here on Design Unhinged, we don't just make interfaces. We explore what deserves to survive.